If you ever heard of the Steam Deck, then you would know it's running SteamOS, and you would also know that SteamOS is based on Arch Linux. But if you've been living under a rock and don't know what the Steam Deck is, the Steam Deck is a handheld gaming PC made by Valve, who also made the popular game launcher Steam. Unlike the Nintendo Switch 2, the Steam Deck is more of a handheld PC rather than a console, more similar to the Lenovo Legion Go or the ROG Ally. Now, since the deck is running SteamOS, which is Linux, and the only one out of the three popular handhelds running Linux, with the Legion Go and Ally running Windows. So I shook it off at first, as you know, I'm all for Linux, and I even use Linux as my main daily driver and operating system. But then I wondered, why doesn't Valve main Windows on the Steam Deck? Well, that is what I will be covering in this video. Before I begin the video, please subscribe to support this channel if you like the videos getting pumped out regularly. So throw back to before the Steam Deck, before Proton, and before Windows 10. Back when Windows 8 launched. The CEO of Valve, Gabe Newell, who worked at Microsoft for 13 years, was still pretty pissed about Windows 8. I mean, who couldn't be? So, as a hedging strategy to possibly avoid some of the damages that Windows 8 could have caused, Valve decided to bring more support for Linux, eventually bringing in an open beta for the Steam client on Linux in December 2012, with the Steam client for Linux officially releasing on February 14, 2013. The Steam client version on Linux was mainly targeted towards Ubuntu, as it was the most popular and most widely used Linux distribution at the time, although it still soon made its way to other Linux distributions like Arch and Fedora after continuous testing and feedback within the Linux community was expanded and worked up upon. At first, Valve tried porting a lot of their games to Linux. Many titles like Counter-Strike, Team Fortress 2, Dota 2, Left 4 Dead, and Half-Life were all ported to Linux natively. Now, there were still a number of games on Steam that didn't work with Linux. Now, the most common solution at the time was to run the game using Wine, which was a compatibility layer. But oftentimes this would lead to instability and low performance, as well as quite a bit of stuttering. This led to Valve creating Proton, their own compatibility layer based on Wine, but had better integration with Steam and was much easier to use and configure, works most of the time out of the box, comes with essential graphics tools like DXVK, and so much more. Even custom versions of Proton by the community were created, like Boxtron for DOS games and Proton Glorious Eggroll, more commonly known as Proton GE, with better enhancements. Although there are some caveats, like some games with their developers choosing not to support Linux, and games with kernel-level anti-cheat, like Valorant, Apex Legends, and Call of Duty not working on Linux due to them not being viable on Linux. And so far, on the Steam Deck and Linux in general, there are over 25,000 playable games, and that's only the games on Steam, which don't include the others outside of Steam. Valve also wants to reduce their dependency on Microsoft and Windows, and they see Linux as a great opportunity since it gives them full control for their future development. They also see Linux as a good opportunity to branch out PC gaming for all systems and not just Windows, so that gamers on Linux, FreeBSD, and even Mac can still enjoy gaming. If you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, maybe even a comment. God bless you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.